This is the Big Sacred Chief. I'm gonna try my best to bust this map down, man, to reveal the ancient names of what these places would be modern day times, right? So y'all rock with me. I'm gonna try my best to go through kind of fast. So Moscow, that would have been modern day, right now today, Connecticut and Rhode Island together would have been Moscow. Berlin would have been Boston, Massachusetts would have been Berlin, ancient times. New Jersey, Atlantic City would have been Atlantis, ancient times. That's crazy. Pennsylvania would have been Sweetin, ancient times. That is crazy. New York would have been Greece, with the additions to the city, right? Poland, Nepal, also Holland, which is crazy because they have the Holland Tunnel. That's crazy. I'm not making this up. That's crazy. Search it for yourself. You see it on the map. Number 6 up, Vermont and New Hampshire would be Mexico. Also, I think Maine is a part of that too as well. So Vermont and New Hampshire would have been Mexico, ancient times. Number 7, next up, Delaware, D.C., and what's that? Maryland would have been ancient times NASA. Ancient times NASA. And that's crazy because the NASA Space Center is in D.C. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up, guys. That's crazy. So, yeah. NASA Space Center is right in D.C. In ancient times, that place would have been called NASA. Imagine that. All right, next up, in the 8th spot, I have West Virginia. That would have been Shanghai. It makes sense. All those crazy big mountains, man. No railings. I'm just saying, it looked like Shanghai. That's crazy. It just makes sense, man. Big scary mountains, man. And the capital of that place would have been Lubeck. And it looks like Virginia would have been Britain. Somehow it intertwined because Osaka is there as well. Osaka is right there as in Britain, which that would have been modern day Virginia area, as well as Colonus will also be in that Virginia area, and that makes sense because Colonus, I hope I'm saying that right, Colons, that's a metropolitan area, which is Virginia. It's a metropolitan area. You see how it connect with West Virginia and it connect with D.C. area because it's metropolitan? Hey, you cannot make this up. I'm going to try my best to hurry up. Number 9 would be North Carolina would be Turkey. That's crazy. With the addition to Saudi Arabia, Arabia and Valhalla. Even though we know Valhalla is, they say, is mythology of a land of gods, but that's crazy because Michael Jordan come from North Carolina. We see him as a god. I can't make it up. It may not be a fact, but we do see him as a god. All right, let's hurry up. So Nashville would have been, ancient times would have been Nubia. Shout out to all the Nubian kings and queens. Nashville would have been Nubia, guys. That's crazy. Because it also say that the Nile River runs through Nubia, which is definitely, I think, the not the Mississippi, but I think one of those rivers do run through Nashville. Yes. As you know, on the older map, it shows how it spread across and how it was a part of Egypt as well. So it all makes sense. And the Mississippi River, I think, runs through Nashville, I want to say. Or one of those rivers cut off from the Mississippi River that runs through Nashville. All right, let's hurry up. South Carolina would be Italy. Also would be a part of Sparta. Sparta would be in Italy, which would be modern-day South Carolina. Now, tell me why South Carolina have Spartanburg, South Carolina. You can't make this up, man. Spartanburg, South Carolina is their present day. In ancient times, this place would have been Italy, and Sparta would have been in South Carolina. Now, that's crazy. Let me hurry this up. Georgia, which has a piece of Sparta, because Georgia's connected to South Carolina on the back end. It's funny because, Georgia have Athens in Georgia. That's crazy, right? And Montevideo is also would have been part of Italy and Sparta. And also Georgia would be Egypt. Egypt would be inside of Georgia, as well as a piece of Jerusalem. With a piece of Jerusalem and also inside of Georgia, with the addition to the part of North Florida, I want to say that 850 area, which is that Tallahassee area, Wakulla area, that whole area over there, that's 850. That's an additional part, would have been a part of Jerusalem as well, because it runs to the top of North Florida area, that whole entire area. That would have been a part of Jerusalem as well. And Tallahassee was a part of, that little piece of Florida was a part of actually Georgia in those ancient times, which that connects Egypt and Jerusalem. And that's funny because the rest of the part of North Florida, they call it the Valparaiso, which means the Valley of Paradise, which means, to me, it sounds as if that would be the Garden of Eve. The Valley of Paradise. That's the top part of North Florida, which translates to the Garden of Eve, man. Because, like, if you know it or not, it also says that in Jerusalem, it says that a lot of springs was outside of Jerusalem, between the Garden of Eve and Jerusalem is really close to the Garden of Eve, just like how Georgia and Florida is. They're very close in proximity, and there's a bunch of springs that runs through that area. And there were a lot of springs. The Swanee River, Chipola River, the Madison Blue State Park Spring Park, and also the Wakulla Spring Park. Those all run from which would be the Garden of Eve to Jerusalem, which is that Florida Georgia connected area. And also in that Florida area, the reason why I would say the Garden of Eve, because they had all of the fruits and vegetables of that time that no land had ever had. And also cotton is king. Cotton makes up everything, and that cotton was between the Florida and Georgia area. That it just blows my mind to connect all of these dots. Cotton is king. They had, and then Florida area. Them people love cooking. They love all those fruits. I remember in the old journal, Columbus Journal, they said they sent about 600 fruits to Africa because he never heard of these fruits. It was crazy. I'm getting off task, so let me finish up before we get done. It's crazy. I just had to throw that cooking part in there. And I think the last up I have is Alabama, which you can see with your own two eyes, Zion. What's that, and that all makes sense because they said a king would rise out of Zion. And Martin Luther King definitely was a king. You can't make this up. That's ancient times. Alabama would have been Zion. And all of the things Zion went through, all of the things Alabama went through, OMG. That was a place that first started. Oh my God, let me not get into the slavery part. But ancient times, Alabama would have been Zion. And I have to add on addition, as you can see, it looks like Indiana and Chicago would have been a split part and shared to be Morocco. It would have been ancient times Morocco. Man, y'all would have been Moroccans, man. It makes sense how you guys like to rock those, turbans and do-rags over your dreads. It's the reason why they have that crime rate so high up, man. But listen, y'all would have been Morocco, man. Moroccans, man. Listen, I'm trying to find that other piece of the map, and I'm going to also finish this other Midwest part of the map, guys. But I had to wrap it up because it took me so long, and I tried to speed through it. But it all makes sense, man. Modern-day Morocco, where all the world fairs was in Chicago. Oh, my God. Hey, listen. I'm done. Hey, listen. Just go in the comments, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Oh, excuse me.